Hello 3 Mandela and welcome to your first maths lesson of the week. This week we're going to be continuing our learning about fractions. Today is a recap lesson on recognising a quarter. Our learning objective is, can I recognise a quarter? In today's lesson, we will be recapping our learning from Year 2 so that we are able to recognise a quarter of shapes, objects and quantities. We will also explore quarters using different representations. Our lesson started today. I'm going to read the questions to you, then I want you to pause the video while you solve them and then we will check our answer. Question number 1. Complete the sentence. 10 less than is 496. 512 equals 5 hundredths. How many tens and how many ones? Write the next number in the sequence. What is 5 multiplied by 6? Pause your video now. Question 1. Complete the sentence. 10 less than 506 is 496. 512 equals 5 hundredths, 1 10 and 2 ones. Question number 3. Write the next number in the sequence. 0, 200, 400, 600, 800. What is 5 multiplied by 6? Our answer is 30. Complete the sentences. The whole cake is split into how many equal parts? So here we have our whole cake. Let's count how many parts it is split into. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the whole cake is split into 4 equal parts. Each part is worth a quarter. So I can write a quarter. And it's really important that when you write a mathematical word, you think about your spelling. We can also write this as a fraction. So we can write 1 quarter. Let's have a look at how we would write that. So I would write my 1 and then I would write my 4 to show that 1 quarter is 1 part of 4. So the 4 is my whole, so that shows me how many equal parts there are. And this would show me how many parts there is shaded. So 1 part is 1 quarter. Draw the shapes on your whiteboard and shade a quarter of each shape. So the shapes are the whole and they have been split into equal parts. You need to shade 1 quarter of each shape. So let's look at the first shape. If I was shading 1 quarter of it, I would colour in 1 part of the whole. I'm going to draw lines to show you. But if you were shading, you'd colour it all in. So I have shaded 1 quarter. Pause the video, draw the shapes and shade 1 quarter. Then we'll come back together and check our answers. Let's have a look. So this is how we could show 1 quarter of each shape. It doesn't matter which quarter you have coloured in as long as you have only coloured in 1 part. So you could have coloured in this part of the circle. You could have coloured in this part of your triangle. And you could have coloured in this part to show 1/4 of each shape. Which pictures have 1/4 shaded? Write the letters on your whiteboard. Pause your video and write the letters that have 1/4 shaded. Let's have a look. A is split into 4 equal parts. One part is shaded, so I should have written the letter A on my whiteboard. Let's look at the triangle in B. The triangle is split into how many equal parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. One part is shaded, so 1/4 is shaded because each part is equal. If we look at C, one part has been shaded, but our parts aren't equal. So 1/4 hasn't been shaded. Let's look at D. How many parts has D been split into? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we were finding quarters, it would needed to be divided into 4 equal parts. So shape D doesn't show us a quarter. On your whiteboards or on a piece of paper, I'd like you to draw shapes C and D again and split them into quarters correctly. Pause your video and have a go at this. Let's have a look. Here we go. This shows how we could draw the shapes and split them into equal parts and then shade 1/4. You might have shaded a different quarter, but you would have still shaded a quarter if you coloured in one part of the whole. Rosie is folding 2 identical paper strips. I think 1/4 of the strip will be bigger than half of the strip because 4 is bigger than 2. Do you agree with Rosie? Use paper strips to investigate. If you haven't got paper strips, you could just draw 2 strips like I've drawn onto your whiteboard. I would start by folding my piece of paper in half to make 2 halves to make my whole. Then I need to think about splitting the other strip into quarters. If I'm splitting it into quarters, I'm splitting it into 4 parts, 4 equal parts. So 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, 4 parts. Now let's think about Rosie's statement. Rosie thinks 1/4 of the strip will be bigger than half of the strip because 4 is bigger than 2. Do you agree with Rosie? Pause the video and have a think about your answer. Let's see what we know. Rosie is not correct because the whole is the same. 1/4 will always be smaller than 1/2. And if we look closely here, we can see this is our half and this is our quarter. How many quarters make up a half? That's right, 2 quarters make up a half. Now it's your turn. Choose between activity 1, activity 2 and activity 3. Question 1. Write the letters of the shapes that are split into 4 equal parts. Question 2. Draw the shapes and shade 1/4 of each of the shapes. Sort the shapes. So you need to draw a circle that says 1/4 and a circle that says not 1/4. You need to write the letters of the shapes in the correct circle. You could draw the shapes in the circles if you wanted to. Activity 3, question 1. Which is the odd one out? Explain why. And you've got to do exactly the same for question number 2. Your challenge. To show 1/4, I will shade less than 4 triangles. Is Jess correct? Explain how you know. Colour the picture to show 1/4. Each picture represents 1/4. Spot the mistake. Explain your answer. How many green dots will need to be added to represent 1/4 of the orange dots? Explain how you know. Show this by drawing dots. If a shape has been split into 20 parts, I would need to shade 4 to show 1/4. Is Cat correct? Explain your answer. Show this on a diagram. Remember to take a picture of your work and put it onto Tapestry for me.